Got it. Without further ado, I will now call to order the August 17th meeting of the Amity Council. Right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will you take roll, please? Melissa Bojorquez, present. Acie Dunlap, here. April Dyche, here. Cody here. Sandy McArthur, present. Denis Saucier is absent, and Mayor Reapprove here. Thank you. We'll start off as usual with some comments or questions. See anyone extra with us tonight? And we will move right into old business. Mike, can you give us a rundown of this, please?
Yes. So when council voted to approve the new loan, and we did everything by the book, the paperwork that we had was dated from Mayor Clark. And when they went through and the DC office, I guess, looked at, they said the paperwork doesn't match. So they requested that we go back and change the paperwork to be accurate for the amount we received and preferably with the current elected leadership. So doesn't take away the money, doesn't do anything different. They just need to have a vote on record, which requires a council meeting, and then they need the acceptance and then the new signature block, and we're good to go. So that's literally why we're doing a special council meeting, is to get the vote on record.
Does anyone have questions? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion.
I move to accept the Amity Loan Resolution Bulletin 1780-27.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the Amity Loan Resolution Bulletin 1780-27. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please signify by saying no. Passes. Thank you. With old business out of the way, we will go to department reports.
Okay, that would be me. So this kind of now devolves more into what we normally would do for a work session. So I'm just going to give you some updates. Last week we had the COG meeting with the elected leaders at the Spirit Mountain Casino. So I'm going to give you a rundown real quick of what I learned there. It was open to a lot of us. It turned out because of other pre-engagements and scheduling buffoonery, I was the only one that went. So while I was there, I spoke to Mayor Watkins. She had some ideas about ODOT. She wanted to run those by Mayor King and some mayor to mayor. So at some point she may reach out to you. I also spoke with Mayor McArthur of Independence. He mentioned that in an upcoming Oregon legislative session, lawmakers may attempt to overhaul system development charges statewide. They're considering doing this as part of improving the homeless situation or reducing the amount of homeless by improving housing. But he said it could be backfire on cities. So I've not heard anything about this, so I'm going to go research that and come back with more information if you want to hear about it. But I spoke with Representative Anna Sharp, although she's no longer in our district. She does still want to look out for Amity. She said she would like to arrange a future meeting between her, Mayor King, myself, and potentially the new state rep with actually one of the candidates that if they get elected, she wants to meet with us, and possibly ODOT to discuss our desire for RFPs at the south end of town. So that may be a post-election issue to see who wins the election, but she's interested in doing that. I spoke with Heidi Bell, Sheridan's manager. She gave me a rundown on some of the things she's accomplished in Sheridan. I've been trying to get a hold of her to get more details. I can't reach her. She's not answering her phone. She won't answer the emails, but I'm going to get more information on that and get back to you if you're interested. And then I spoke to Arthur Chappett. He's excited about coming out here tomorrow to see what we can accomplish with the library. And he did tell me that we're gonna get $1.5 million, but he said, actually, the overhead should only cost you about $400,000. So that he said you might actually have more like $1.1 million to put to your library. So that's even better than what I thought we'd have. So.
Although that's not a given, but,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of people on our side.
Yeah, yes. So additionally, Mayor King and I discussed this. Yes, I bring us up to council real quick. At the end of the last meeting, you asked me, sir, about whether we would be willing, we could cut away the sidewalk that's right here in front of the, right underneath the sign that says Amity City Hall. It's the portion of the sidewalk where the woman tripped over it and then had the $8,000 settlement to CIS. The question was asked, what would be the best process to do that? We can grind it down, or yes, we can do the removal process. It will leave about for the brick planter box, it'd be about a 2-inch outlay just because of the way the thing cuts in so we wouldn't take away the planter box. They could cut out the entire sidewalk almost to the door. If you go out there, there's a little natural crack in the pavement. They'll take everything from the curb to the crack, take that out, and then potentially re-landscape it if we want to do that. Cut out all the weeds, put down basically a mesh netting, a weed blocker, then put bark chips or something over it, make it look pretty. And that, and potentially even do that, they might cover the lip, that little strip there, that 2-inch wide strip. So we could even do that. Gary said we can either do that or we can grind it down, which you want me to do. I said I'd bring it to council, answer your question, and also bring it to council to see what the preference is. You want it removed or you want it ground down?
What's the price difference?
It's basically machine equipment rental, cost of the new materials, the matting and the bark chips and everything to make the landscaping look nice, and labor of our 2 guys. It could be done in a day. Gary didn't give me a cost estimate, but I'm assuming probably under $2,000 total. Grinding it down, equipment rental, and that's again half a day, but just the physical grinding down. So maybe about the same.
So Councilor Goings, you asked the question, what was, I guess, what was your train of thought and what were you hoping?
I really didn't have anything hoping. I just
Okay.
thought of, instead of grinding it down, like, we could just cut it down, get rid of it. That was an option, because we have all the equipment, we have the hot saw, we have the, we could fill it up with, we wouldn't have to manage anything. But it would be at the man hours and then the other materials.
Do you suspect that it would continue to raise? So years down the road, it would just be up again if we grind it down, or?
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's some trees right there.
No.
We cut out the one tree that was there to improve security camera coverage, so there's a stump there, but it's
So it was lifted from an old tree.
possibly, yes.
I think it's kind of nice to have the walkway to get there, but it would be, I think the city would be better off if we had a ADA compliant width sidewalk rather than this little portion of concrete that people.
Is this the like back behind between the building and the? I feel really hard to go to see it.
Just try to.
Oh, you have the pictures.
You can pass it
The
over.
Amity sign over here.
This is the planter box and the sign was here, and this goes out towards.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, so what is this thing? Is this what you?
That's the curb that would be either ground down, or we would just, everything in that red outline would just remove.
And I believe the trip was where the angle edge meets,
Yeah,
right,
this
of the
way.
straight part and the.
Yeah, so basically where your fingertips are is about where she tripped.
I was thinking you were talking about where the tree is out front,
No, sir.
the road is pushed up the sidewalk.
Different issue, but one that we may have to address in the future.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is going to be a spending proposition because of the road.
Yep.
I'm not sure, I would really want to get into that discussion.
No, but the matter at hand is just right up against the building. There's the lavender planters and then about, what, a foot wide?
It's about 2.5 feet wide sidewalk through,
Okay, but taking it out
Right.
would mean that anyone coming from this street
would have to,
would have to walk into the street to come around.
well, they would have to walk to the sidewalk at the corner and then just go around the flagpole, the grassy area.
But they'd have to step into the street to get around, because this is just curb right?
No, there's sidewalk, there's the Maddox Street sidewalks as well.
Oh, okay.
So
they'd
the
still have a-
perimeter is sidewalk.
Okay.
So there, we wouldn't be cutting into the current sidewalk, we'd just be taking that little shortcut path out.
Okay.
We're talking about it, visualize.
Right. Well, the other pictures just kind of show what we would cut out to and a little bit of a lip. I mean, Gary said they can do it. It shouldn't be that difficult either way. They
So here it is.
just want to know the preference.
Yeah, the police station like right here, and then heading north. Then there's that loop right here.
That's the condition of the
Two-way
current little sidewalk.
That's
By Amity standards,
Yeah.
it's holding up pretty well.
That's what the lady tripped. and,
Very It's not a crack.
I mean, there's no other places where
So
I
I
think
thought-
our trip hazards are.
Last week, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
just cut it here in this seam. Cut it here, there's a crack over here, cut it at this seam, and then peel it up. Just to get rid of it. Just do away with it.
It's open for discussion. And I was just curious what you'd like to see done. Would you like to keep that little sidewalky thing there, or would you like to have it removed? I mean,
Is there a strong preference if the options would be grind or remove?
No, okay. That's-
I'm leaning for remove it and increase
Or-
the planter size. Make it pretty.
Never knows this piece here.
And then, I think that there could be options in the future to redo the landscaping, but at least for now, we could get weed barrier and cover up to there.
All the grass and bamboo looking stuff, we would just rip that all out.
I did ask if they could trim it down, because it's a nice landscape material, but once that gets out of hand, it just looks. So I did ask, is there a strong preference for consensus of removal or grinding of the one spot? It sounds like removal. I think. Councilor Lynch, or not? Yes, strong preference.
I don't have one for that. At this point. I had a question about her perfect.
I would say if Public Works is able to rip it out.
Rip it out, yeah. We'll get on it at some point. We might do it after it cools off a little bit.
And I can donate some plants to,
I was gonna say,
I have a lot of stuff that needs to be divided, and it's all like low maintenance stuff, like crocosmias that are beautiful and colorful, but like.
I was gonna try to get rid of some of those.
You got the crocosmias too?
Orange.
Yep, I got the beautiful orange ones.
But yeah, and we could even work on that as a separate, let's beautify the front.
And it would be fun to be able to say it was done by donations from city council too. We actually have a fun little work party. That might be fun.
Is there any, since we're in that area on the plan, is there any way that in next year's budget, have some, keep the landscaping in that area, the planner in that decent?
I just don't think it's priority. I went and done work at the library to weed theirs. I know Public Works does this when they're able. I don't think that it makes sense to add budget. But because we're looking to up our volunteers, that could be something that we could really advocate for a volunteer group to do, because I think we could get that community involvement.
I know they used to keep up the post office, and it was grungy now.
Yeah.
Put it
Well,
mildly,
Like McMinnville's got that group
but
that
the,
does a lot of the landscaping. in
Yeah.
town.
So maybe just like a little volunteer subcommittee that.
Yeah, like Amity gardening nerds or something and have people that want, I think it would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. wait for that. The last thing I had was just a reminder that the air show is coming this weekend, so there'll be traffic and noise and car alarms possibly going off and parking issues. So if you're going up in McMinnville, just be aware of that. And do you want me to discuss the Facebook thing or not? Or
If there's any questions, it doesn't.
okay,
it's up to you.
all right, I'm good.
Okay,
Open for questions.
any questions? No. Okay, we'll move on to business from mayor and councilors. Council President, nothing from Councilor McArthur,
Nothing.
Councilor Bojorquez.
I am working on setting up the volunteer thing to get everything in line before school starts. I met with last week and talked about Amity and what it was and what it is. They mentioned, and I got a list from Dyche of events that they need volunteers for. So do you need a list from the city? Because I think I have most of them, but I'm guessing I have some.
List of all the businesses.
No, a list of the city events that could use volunteers.
I think Tasha made a list up. I have it somewhere.
Like
She
the
probably
work
has it.
comp list that.
Yeah.
I knew it was floating around somewhere. I just need to ask for it. And I talked to Eve a little bit about Eve with the, Eve right here, and, or not,
Aaron Rainey.
Aaron Rainey, yeah, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. About the Amity flyer and offered help when they're at that stage to help put it together, format it, make it pretty. So we'll see where that goes.
And then I wanted to ask you, when I spoke with the principal, Christina, at the high school, he said we'd get back in touch in August.
Okay.
And so I wanted to know
When?
Yeah, I mean, and you can just let me know what will work for you when you're ready, because I think he's willing whenever, but I just need to reach out probably with a little bit in advance.
They probably get back in the classroom next week, right? To,
So he's there
Oh.
and the teacher should be in the next, yeah.
okay.
But he said, the last week in August is when he's gonna have his full course, so anytime. Councilor Dunlap? Councilor Goins?
I got nothing.
Okay. Mayor's report. So the accumulation of the summer library program is an event this Saturday. They'll have serendipity ice cream for all the readers that completed their time, but it's also for sale to the public. So from 11:30 to 2, our librarians will be there celebrating and having ice cream. And Councilor Bojorquez, are you gonna be able to bring the candy? So she and I will help set that up, and then I plan to just hang out and do whatever needs to be done. As an update for last week and the OMA Mayor's Conference, I sadly was not able to attend. My family felt ill at the beginning of the week, and out of caution, I did not want to bring those germs with me to a large group of leaders, so I had to miss that. We will get a refund for what the city paid out for that, and I'll plan to attend the next one. But I have since then spoken with a couple of mayors that were able to go, and it was a really nice time. Life happens. And then there's a city county dinner happening tomorrow for elected leadership within the county. And that'll post in date, so I'll get that right in. I'll be there. I might mention the library meeting. One thing I wanted to ask council is, Sergeant Hyde mentioned that there could be discussion and changes to some of the police stuff outside of the contract. And I wanted to ask everyone's opinion on maybe upping the speed ticket to warning ratio. If that would be good, guys. Because what I've heard and observed is I think that our community would appreciate that. I think it was about 17 to 83%. Mike, do you feel comfortable reaching out and having that discussion?
A certain height, if council wants to, I can bring that up to them.
Okay, and it's gonna be at their discretion, and I know they do a good job, but I think just hearing from us that we'd like that would do the trick.
They
We've
just
had-
caught someone yesterday doing 46 and a 25, so.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of pullovers and other people have noticed that as well. But we've had these speed limits for a while, so warning time can be done.
I also feel like because it's a highway, we get a lot of pass through and people who deserve a ticket are more likely getting a warning. Waiting for the next time for them to come through when really they should just be abiding it.
Another question was, do we want to plan another town hall? I would like to before the end of the year, since we have plans for some events in October, I was thinking possibly waiting until November. And then if you guys want to just think on a subject, you might want to wait until close to that date to find out what's pertinent. But the open forum and update is all right. And last but not least,
Quick question on that.
oh yeah,
Would it be wise to do that before voting? So that I can bring questions about.
yeah. So that would be like the first week. I can't promise right at this moment that we can make that happen, but I think that's a good intention.
That'd be somewhere between the 1st and the 4th, man. I guess election day is November 8th.
So that the only Wednesday there would be our regular council meeting.
It would be November 2nd, yes.
Well, we have a couple meetings before that that we can come with specifics to see if we can work. So I spoke with Mayor Whitehouse today from Dayton, and she gave me a great idea that I wanted to put out there. She asked if I had been doing like meetups or coffee with the mayor, which is something I have not done. But I think she just said that it's a really good opportunity for people to get to know me. I think the council, it would be open for anyone in the council that can make it happen either separately or together. But it's just good to get those meetings outside of this type of meeting. And she has been really helpful and supportive of me and just threw out a lot of ideas, but that was one that I was like, I want to do that. So I'm thinking that I would like to initiate that after school starts back up because my personal schedule will be a little more lenient, but I was just hoping for you guys' support in that and then knowing that you're welcome to join as part of it whenever you're in.
Make sure it's on the forum.
Yes, yes.
And they did try that, but maybe you guys will do better.
I've never tried it, so I can give it a go.
I have all the.
You could take your break and come have coffee.
I will, I'm just.
You can chat. That's all I have for this.
One follow-up,
Yes.
mentioning voting, it went out on Tuesday, this last Tuesday, so our 10-day window for the ballot measure closes Saturday, I believe it is, so it'll technically be Monday. So we haven't had anybody challenge it yet, so as soon as that's done, I will take the next step through the guidebook that they gave us to then make that official and push that to the county for inclusion on the November 8th ballot. So moving forward on that one slowly but surely.
Is there anything else for the good of the order? Would anyone care to make the final motion of the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion in a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, signify by saying no. Okay, motion passes. Meeting